Welcome to Grants World with Gabby and Michelle,
where we demystify the wild and wonderful world of funding opportunities. In this video, we will provide a basic overview of grants and how they can elevate your ability to serve students and families' needs. The current reality is that many districts and school sites have unmet needs and/or gaps in service for students, teachers, and the families they serve. For example, it could be a teacher does not have enough books for their class, or parents have expressed the need for expanded learning opportunities, but the school lacks sufficient funding.
This is where grants come in. Grants are funds that you do not have to pay back. However, there are other accountability measures to ensure proper use of funding. For example, there might be reporting that is part of a grant, and there could also be required site visits from the funder to ensure objectives are being met. There are different types of grants. Opportunities exist via government agencies, philanthropic organizations, corporations, and private foundations. For example, government agencies can include the U.S. Department of Education, the California Department of Education, and local county government. Examples of philanthropic organizations include community foundations, charitable trusts, and endowments. Lastly, many corporations have a responsible or charitable giving component to their company, which can be a good source of revenue, especially if the business has a presence in your community.
You may be wondering how this works. Funders want to help you solve a specific problem and set guidelines regarding eligibility. Grant applications specify the type of recipient and what the criteria for eligibility is. For example, grants may be targeted to individuals, such as teachers. They can also be targeted to schools, districts, or a consortium, which can be multiple schools or districts applying as a group. At this point, you are probably wondering where you can find possible funding opportunities. There are various grant listings available on the internet. For federal grants, we suggest visiting grants.gov. Educational state grants can typically be found on the California Department of Education's available funding site. For corporate grants, search charitable giving information on a company's website. There are also searchable databases, such as GetEd Funding, as well as those you can subscribe to at various costs.
Now that you know a little bit more about grants, a possible next step is to review SDCOE's resource, Writing Successful Grant Proposals, which includes best practices as well as strategies and tips for success. Please email us to receive a copy of this resource. Other steps include talking to someone who has written a grant. You can also find out if someone at your district is currently working on a proposal. Ask to see if you can be part of the process. And lastly, you can research possible funding opportunities to see what is available. We know you are doing great work.
You are just one grant away from making it amazing.